Hi, friends. I'm Katherine Koristoff, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Conversations for Research Rockstars. Today, we're going to talk about something that I know is on the minds of all market research and insights professionals. What is the impact of AI on our teams, our organizations, even our personal careers? And the truth of the matter is that there is a wide spectrum of AI adoption that's going on in our profession. And depending on where your team is on that spectrum, you may be facing different opportunities and challenges in terms of AI. And so there really is a spectrum from really basic adoption to bolder adoption, and it does have implications. So let's take a look at that. Based on my work so far, and this is work that I've had from getting to interview and work with team leaders at various organizations, both market research agencies and also team leaders on client-side organizations, the folks who are running the insights teams at CPG and financial services and tech companies and so on. I've also had the opportunity to talk to people who have actually worked in AI for more than a couple of years, people who come from organizations that have actually been working in AI in general, not just in market research for years. And in all of this work, I started to notice some really interesting themes about what was determining the organization's likelihood to really embrace AI at either a very basic level or a bold level. And so I created this model that I hope that you will find useful for thinking about where is my team on this potential spectrum from basic to bold, and what that might imply for you in terms of what your work in 2024 is going to look like and potentially your career. So let me just step back and explain my model to you a little bit. So as a good researcher, of course, I had to put a lot of thought into what's the best way to display what that continuum is from basic to bold. And from my work, I started to get these recurring themes about really what the drivers were. And one was about the leadership's willingness to use AI for real disruption. So are they looking for AI to really revolutionize the way that their teams work, how their employees work, their team members work, how they provide market research and insight services, their methodologies, and so on. So there are some folks who are looking for very, very basic changes, more evolutionary, and then there are the organizations that are led by team leaders who really want to revolutionize the way that we do market research and insights. The other axis has to do with leadership commitment. I know this one can sound like a platitude, but it's actually very, very important. By leadership commitment, I'm kind of combining both the leadership's willingness to invest money. So that is, they're not just talking about using AI to do market research better or faster or cheaper, but they're actually investing money and time. They're giving maybe select employees on their team sufficient time to develop proof of concepts. Maybe they're putting in sufficient budget so that they can do different pilots with different platforms that they may be evaluating. And also they're willing to start thinking about how to do the business process change management. Especially if you're doing this for a team of, say, more than 5 or 10 people, anytime where you change a business process, it can be shockingly difficult to do so, right? There's different ways that your organization has things set up. There can be a big domino effect. You make it one change in this business process here, and it can end up having unintended consequences over there. So change management is a huge topic. By the way, if that phrase is new to you, definitely want to go to your favorite search engine or your favorite chatbot and ask for some information on key aspects of change management in business organizations. It's a big, well-known, well-studied topic, and it can thwart the adoption of anything that's new, including AI. All right, so now we've talked about that there are these two axes that we're working with. Let's take a look at the first group. The first group I am calling task enhancers. These are organizations where leadership is allowing their team members to use AI tools, but there's no real strategy there. It's just basically saying, if you want to use ChatGPT to help you as a writing aid, or you want to use something like an AI-based tool to help you with editing, like Grammarly or Hemingway, or maybe you're going to use a AI virtual assistant or scheduling assistant. That's fine. We're not going to block you, but we're not necessarily also going to help you either. It's basically, you're allowed, but keep it over there. And that's where we do see a lot of organizations. And that's fine. That can be the first step for a lot of organizations, letting their employees get used to using AI-based tools on an individual productivity basis. The next level starts to get a little bit more interesting, because here the AI disruption level is still low relatively, but we're seeing a lot more leadership commitment. So these are the organizations where they're saying, we really think that we can do what we're doing now, but do it better with AI tools. So these are the folks who are saying, we think that we will be able to use AI tools to be able to do things like planning our research methods faster, writing reports faster, designing questionnaires faster, programming questionnaires faster, and so forth by using AI tools. It is a bigger leadership commitment, right? Because now that it's stuff that's not just at the employee or individual level, but things that are starting to be client facing, if you will, whether your clients are internal or external, these are things that you have to have a team leadership situation where they really are committed and saying, okay, this is sanctioned, we're doing this. We are making a commitment to doing our research faster or better or cheaper, perhaps, because of AI. In my experience so far, really the emphasis has been on speed. So talking to teams where really what they're hoping they can do is speed up some of the things that we kind of consider grunt work in market research, so that things can be done faster. Now, in some cases, the plan is we want to make bold promises to our clients or stakeholders about how quickly we'll be able to do quality research. And that's great. And a little bit less common, but I think it's important to point out, is that there's also teams that are saying, hey, because now we're going to be able to say, analyze our unstructured qualitative data faster, now we're going to have more time to really add value, to use our human brains and our human experiences to write really awesome executive summaries, to lead really powerful workshops for our clients on adopting this. So I just gave you an example using qualitative, but obviously it applies to survey research as well. So here's about efficiency, which might lead them to make bold promises either about speed or value. The next group is what I'm calling cautious catalysts. So these are the organizations that really have a vision for AI disruption. They see the potential of AI to fundamentally change how market research and insights projects are done. That's fantastic. And so they're really into it, but they're cautious. They are the ones who are probably going to spend most of 2024 doing things like pilots. So let's do a pilot of this platform or a pilot of that platform, or doing some collaborative projects to sort of test the waters. So they've got the vision, but they really want to try it before they buy it, if you will. And this is fine. So these are not necessarily the most leading edge organizations, but they do have a vision. It's just that for now, they're going to take baby steps, right? They don't want to jump in until they've really checked off all those boxes to make sure that this is what they want to commit to. Next up, we have our revolutionary trailblazers. So these are the teams that have both the leadership commitment and the vision for AI disruption that really puts them at the forefront. These are the organizations that are really going to be driving change in how market research and insights work is done and delivered. These are the organizations that are really looking at how we can use synthetic data for good, not just bad, what we can do with data to text. And by the way, if you haven't heard the phrase data to text, I suggest you look it up. Looking at conversational AI, avatars. There are so many things now that are available through AI that can fundamentally change what we're doing. The exciting thing about these teams is that they're the ones who are looking for that first mover status, right? They want to leapfrog everybody else and be the first to deliver new methods of doing and delivering market research. But they are organizations that have said, we are going to allocate appropriate time and budget and change management in order to make it happen. We don't just want to talk about it. We really want to do it starting in 2024. It might be towards the end of 2024, but that's what they're working towards. So as you look at this model, you may very well say to yourself, well, my team is definitely one of these quadrants, or is we're primarily task enhancers, right? You might be sitting on the edge, right? Maybe you're task enhancers with a little bit of cautious catalyst thrown in. But think for a minute about which of these best represents your team. Are you on a team of task enhancers, efficiency escalators? Are you cautious catalysts? Are you revolutionary trailblazers? And then where do you wish it was? Is there a gap between where your team is and where you wish it was? And if so, that might be an opportunity for you to find an effective way to help your team move in the direction that you're seeking. There are obviously different things that an organization can do to change from one quadrant to another. And some of it may just be awareness and having people on the team who give the nudges to get things moving in a different direction. So I hope you found this model to be useful to reflect on what your team is doing and frankly, what the implications are going to be for your work in 2024. If you have any questions, certainly let me know. And if you'd like a copy of that graphic, please add a comment and I'll be sure to have you sent the link so you can download it instantly. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy this conversation, and please do share it with anybody you think might find it useful. Thanks.